Morning, everybody. Thanks for stopping by and checking out our presentation of Bluebeam Revu. Bluebeam is a very cool technology that allows to integrate your current documentation into a digital format. And one of the things I'm going to mention over the next few minutes is how this collaboration can fit well into your workflow. So I'll get started and start mentioning some of the key features that are pretty relevant to Bluebeam. I think the biggest one of all is the intuitive interface. Honestly, I've been using it for less than 2 weeks and I'm already feeling like a pro. So it means that you can really get up to speed fast, and even if you've never seen the software before, I think within a couple hours you're up and running. And I think besides the intuitiveness, it's just how easy it is to use markups. There's a very cool feature I'm going to show you in a second called Innovative Tool Chest, and also a way to keep track of the markups, which is a very key feature for architects and engineers. And I think one of my favorite ones is the real-time collaboration through a feature called Studio, which allows for accountability, so you can blame people. I'm just kidding. So you can collaborate seamlessly through the web and see real-time feedback as you're doing things. So let's get to the meat of the presentation, which is showing you how Bluebeam works. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the interface, which again, you can easily see how things are laid out. Everything is basically in toolbars, which you can show on and off. There's very easy ways to expand and show more advanced areas like you see here in terms of locating your properties, locating your drawings that you're looking at, and locating layers and keeping track of all those different revision changes. So besides being able to locate your tools, which is the most important things about getting up to speed with the software, is how easy it is to create your markups. So for this, I'm going to go to my tool chest, which is, I think, the best thing within the application, and actually pretty unique to Bluebeam or any PDF writer. I know there's a few competitors out there, a few options that you can go for, but just to show you how easy things are, I'm going to go ahead and here and zoom in and just make a change on something that might have been modified within this drawing. One thing that I did not mention is that you can tie in Bluebeam into your current design package. So it means if you're using AutoCAD, Revit, Navisworks, you can actually print into Bluebeam as either an individual PDF, digital file, or a whole PDF set. So what I'm going to start with here is just creating a few revisions by clicking on my tools from the tool set. Again, this is very highly customizable, and I'm just going to go here and highlight an area. Now, what you'll see is as soon as I do this, everything is going to be automatically selected per sheet, and also sort of assign a layer for, so you can keep track of those. Ideally, and the best thing about this is if you're organized and start renaming things accordingly, you can later on filter and only show things per sheet or per the entire package. So what that means is you can search for a addendum or bulletin change on a specific area, like door changes, and then it will track and find them based on the filter capabilities. Very cool, very easy. But here, let me show you a couple other things that are pretty neat. For instance, I'm going to go here and I'm going to select the revision cloud, and what I'll do is zoom in here, create a revision markup, and as you see, I have a cloud option that tracks the changes, but let's say I want to change the properties of this particular markup. I'm going to select it. I can make more changes if I wanted to, but I can also go to the properties and change things like the color so it stands out, or maybe I can color code it so I can classify it and search by color later on. So there's a number of properties that you can change that can make a certain markup or revision very unique, and then that is easy to later on identify and search, not only graphically, but maybe by values that you enter, like the layers that I mentioned before. But this is not where it ends. What's really cool about this is all the things that you're doing are being sort of tracked. So if there's something that you do commonly and repetitive, what you could do is you can drag and drop into your tool chest, and this is sort of your palette of customized tools that you can, sort of your top 10, top 20 tools that you always use constantly. And the beauty of this is not only you can customize it, but you can share it. So that means is you can use this particular tool set, like I said before, and either changing the settings such as what you want to save within, like the shapes, the markups, the tools for the symbols, and you can import this in another machine. So that means you can customize the settings, export them out, and share it across the office in case, or even send it out so you can import it back on a laptop or a different computer. So tool chest, I think, is one of the best features because it allows for customization. It allows for sort of repetitive, redundant tasks to be streamlined. Another thing that is really cool is what I mentioned earlier, which is advanced markup tracking. Not only can you search and track things here, but you can also create sort of instant referencing. So that means is, I'm gonna open a particular file here just so you can see what I'm talking about. Here is an example of how things can be sort of referenced and cross-referenced, referring, for example, something commonly like looking at a PDF and then pointing into a detail. I'm gonna zoom in here, and one of the best things about the advanced tracking is the hyperlinking. So that means is I can click on a specific feature in an area, just like here, and let me actually do this. I think I picked the different drawing. Let me just open the right one. So one of the things I was saying before, and let me see if I actually find that drawing, is the coordination aspect of it. So let me show all the sheets that are available. That's not the bulletin. One more time. Here it is. So this is what I'm referring to. So I can go into, let's say, my index sheet. And this is just one example of how things can be coordinated. So this right here is linked into a particular sheet that all I have to do is click on it and automatically will refer it to. So that cross-referencing saves a lot of time. And again, any area can be tracked and hyperlinked to another either PDF or a different drawing or even a website. So to do, and actually to show you what that means, I'm gonna create a quick hyperlink on this particular detail or room number. So what that means is I can jump to somewhere in a different sheet. Maybe I can create a hyperlink to a website or even open a separate drawing so it minimizes the load in case you have a large set of like 100, 200 different sheets. So again, this capability of cross-referencing the different sheets is actually something that is very valuable. It saves a lot of time. And I'll tell you a good example. Recently, we were working on a project that had hundreds of sheets from PDFs from the 70s prior to CAD, in which it was very hard to find details and referencing because back then there wasn't that much amount of information included in the packages. So you would spend probably 15, 20 minutes just finding what section or detail is being called out from one specific sheet that may not be available on the package that was supposed to be called out. So in the end, if you could just simply create a hyperlink that you can sort of save and create sort of these different shots, you can always go back in time and go back between sheets easily and quick. But that's not it. One of the greatest things that I think is really cool is the ability to share this markup session with multiple people. So what that means is there's something here called Studio. And what that means is that you can start a new session, you can log in, and what it does is you can have 2 users or more than 2 users simply log into the same session and collaborate so you can see what everybody's doing at the same time. So maybe I can start just a new session right here. And again, the idea behind this is that you can not only set accountability by everything that is being done. So what I mean is, you see my name here, and every change that I make is going to be associated to my name. So not only does it keep a log and a record of everything that is being done, but at the same time you can see real time what's being done on every side. So definitely a very useful feature, especially for making sure that there's a record, there's always a log, and you can always have that sort of accountability on those markup sessions. So that's one of the greatest things, but I think my second best feature that I really like is this one called visual search. What that means is you can search by a piece of text, or you can search by a visual representation of a symbol. So what that means is this. Let's say I want to track the changes between 2 drawings, but maybe just compare how many things have been added or removed between the 2 drawings. So what I'm gonna do here is zoom in into an area such as this, where I'm gonna track the number of things that have been changed by simply doing my visual search and then create a rectangle area. And what's very neat about this it doesn't matter what the line weight is, the line type, the color, the orientation, doesn't matter if it's one PDF or an entire package of PDFs, it will find by hitting search here, every specific sync or block that you're looking for, and you'll notice that it's tracking it here. And what's great is how fast and how easy it is to track them. So you'll see that there's a list here of all the different syncs that were recognized. So if I select one of them, it'll jump right into it. Doesn't matter what the orientation is, doesn't matter what angle, and like I said, you can always see the total quantities and compare against another drawing. So if you have two versions of it, one from last week, one from this week, you can easily see if there's any changes from that specific count. But just to conclude and just to show you really the beauty of how you can use this for marking up and for tracking change, especially very useful on the construction administration phase on a project, there's a very, very cool feature called comparison. And I think that's the best out of all. What that means is, and let me show you, you could pick one drawing that was all, you can even pick one entire package of drawings that were submitted, and you can do this called compare drawings. But what it does is, it allows you to not only do one drawing at a time, it allows you to do multiple bulletins, multiple sheets, an entire set if you wanted to, and then at the end, you can be very specific how you want to compare the drawings, but this is the beauty of it. If you hit OK, it's now gonna take the two drawings, line them up. You can do an overlay if you wanted to, or you can just simply say, this is from last week, this is from this week, and then it will highlight every area that was changed. And it tracks it by pixel. It doesn't matter if it's a vector-related model. So I think this one and the ability to visually search anything in the drawing are two of the main keys that make Bluebeam a very, very easy tool that can be implemented into your workflow. So again, this is something that if you do it old-fashioned, is really time-consuming and is something that is not really automated. So again, this definitely fits well into an architect's or engineer design workflow. Again, Bluebeam is also, in terms of accessibility, almost half the price of your average PDF writer. So for the versions that you have, the Revu CAD, which is the most popular tool, it's something that can be installed on a computer and you can start benefiting from the different features that I just shared today. So, thank you. Hopefully this gives you a very quick, informative narrative on all the key features that make Bluebeam a great tool that you can implement into your workflow.